Hello, everyone, and welcome to NWHL Open Ice. Really excited to see this roaring debate we have on U.S. presidents going on in chat right now. As always, we enjoy and love your participation. So, if you want to talk about if George Washington or, any other presidents from the 1700s, go ahead. We love it. Thank you for tuning in this week. Wow, what an exciting weekend of hockey we had. We're going to get to that in a second. Tonight on the show, we have Briana Mastel joining us today from the dominant Boston Pride. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Get your questions in early because we have not one, but two guests today. We also have Erica Ayala on the show. She will also be joining us after Briana. So get your questions in now for Briana so that you don't miss your shot. You don't miss your shot. Who didn't miss their shots this weekend? The Pride. Because they continued their dominant role, taking down the Whale 4-1 on Saturday in front of their third consecutive sellout crowd. It's not hard to sell tickets when you're 21-1. Also this weekend, the Buttes and the Riveters faced off twice. On Saturday, Buffalo took them down 6-5 in a shootout. We're going to have more on that later. But, I don't want to say that Anna Orzechowski won. She got the defining game-winning shootout goal. She may or may not have been an original NWHL Open Ice guests. So we're not going to take credit for that. But the Riveters bit back on Sunday 4-3, making her first ever NWHL start was Riveters goalie Dana DiMartino. She made 21 saves to earn that victory. But, exciting times we had that weekend. But the story of the weekend is the Pride continuing their dominance, okay? They're marching towards the Isabel Cup. Nothing standing in their way, it seems. So tonight, we have on the show the Pride's very own Briana Mastel. So please welcome. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we're very happy to have you. We had Christina on 2 weeks ago, but hearing from you guys at this time, specifically the Pride, is just so entertaining. So I'm going to jump right into it. Your origin story, we always ask about origin stories on the show, but your origin story is a little bit different. You actually were a figure skater for 8 years prior to abandoning that toe pick.
Yeah.
So what can you just explain that to me? Figure skating.
Yeah, figure skating, man, it's been a while, but my mom got me into sports super early on. Played soccer, baseball, basketball, and hockey was never in the mix, but figure skating, I took to right away and loved being on the ice. And we had all our practices, usually after hockey practice. And one day I kind of was just like, hey, why don't I try hockey? That seems, way more fun. I was a good figure skater, but I don't know, I love the team aspect of sports. And I think at that point I was kind of craving something different. So we signed me up for Learn to Play. And, at the time I was 10 going on 11. So Learn to Play is mostly 3 to 5 years old kids. So, here I am, almost 5 feet tall, standing next to kids who were half my size. And we were both in the same boat. And they're like, how old are you? Why are you so tall? So that was pretty fun. But yeah, it took off, hit the ground running right away. So.
Yeah, you went from sort of okay figure skater to playing professional ice hockey, so it's probably a good transition for you.
It's been a really fun journey to say.
Yeah, it's been good. We're happy you made that transition, so thank you.
Thank
Um,
you.
but you went from you went from figure skating, transitioning to hockey at like 11, 12, to winning a silver medal with the U.S. Women's U18 team.
Yeah.
So no experience, best in the world, 5 years. Can we? What? Were you like drinking special water? Were you on a special diet? Can you just give us all? How did that? How did you do that? 5 years.
Yeah, it happened in a blink of an eye. I would say definitely joining Aspet Valley Club program. Actually, my current teammate Lexi Lang, her dad was my coach there. In addition to my dad, and both of them just have a huge hockey knowledge. So for me, I had the skating ability. It was just at that point learning the game. But man, it was tough at the beginning, like trying to shoot a puck. I was like, what is this? Like, I don't understand. So luckily I was able to skate, but having those two people support me was amazing. And my dad played defense, and so did Lexi's dad. So they were able to really kind of help me hone my skills. And once I started to get more competitive and find out that, you can go to college, just play sports, like that was kind of my goal.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it was a short window, I was like, wow, like that'd be really cool to make this happen. And a lot of my teammates, they were kind of on that path too. So I had some catching up to do. So I definitely had to put in some more work to study the game and learn my position and do all that stuff. I actually spent a summer living in Minnesota for, I want to say, the summer after my sophomore year of high school. And I trained with Jenny Potter, who was a 4-time Olympian at the time.
No big
So I
deal.
lived with her in her house, like with her husband and their 2 kids, and trained with them, 6 days a week. Um, Ran in the morning, skated in the afternoon, lifted in between. So I really got a taste of what that elite level was like.
Wow.
So she definitely helped me out a ton. I was really lucky to like get connected with her, but that definitely helped me for sure.
And it's so interesting because when you Google your name, right, a couple things come up. One
Mm.
is your history at Harvard, but the most common adjective that is used to describe you is hardworking. And all of the things that you just described are not things that like us sitting at home are going to do. Like we're not going to go at 15, 16 years old and lift weights 6 days a week and train with Olympians 5 or 6 days a week. So, you've definitely earned that adjective. You've earned that descriptor of being hardworking.
Thank you.
So congrats. Uh,
Thank you so much.
so you're playing on the Pride this year, as we all know, but you're not a stranger to Boston. You actually went to college at Harvard. I don't know if people in chat have heard of Harvard, but it's a small school in Cambridge. And you played 128 games with them, and you were the captain your senior year. So
Nice.
you went from, you didn't really change cities, which is a nice transition for you. You went from the Harvard Crimson to the Boston Pride. So my question to you is, what is it like to finally have a mascot that's not a color?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I loved my days at Harvard so much that the fact that we were the Crimson made up for it. Being able to play for 4 years of hockey there was second to none. Playing in Boston alone is something that's so special. Between Northeastern, Boston College, and BU, competing for the Beanpot, it's definitely a big hockey city. So that was a really cool experience. And then being in Cambridge, you're just outside of Boston, so you get that little bit of a small city vibe, but also Boston's right down the street. So
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the teammates that I grew up playing with and against played at BU and Northeastern and BC. So to be able to kind of share that experience, like while we might not have been wearing the same uniform, all like living out that college dream that we had as kids, and to be a part of those big time tournaments and even make an NCAA appearance, that was something that was unforgettable, and just really special because you reflect on the people who have helped you all along the way, and being able to share that with them, and then now to continue to be able to live in Boston and play for the Pride,
Yeah.
and playing with current or like former teammates of mine at Harvard, and then Jill Dempsey, who I never actually got to play with. I missed her by a year. So, but everyone knows Demps. She's just such a good
We,
kid.
we might have
And
heard, we may or may not have heard of the first
Captain
woman
Clutch.
to score 100 goals in the league. So all right. So speaking of the Pride,
Yeah.
let's just talk about that for a second, because you guys are dominant. You are rolling over people. You're setting records. I mean, it's fantastic to watch you all play. So we got, 2 weeks ago we had Christina Putinha on the show, and she gave us a really excellent take. But in your opinion, in your expertise, why are you guys crushing this year?
I think at the end of the day, yeah, at the end of the day, I think there are two things that I would say define our team pretty well. One of them being fun. Um, I haven't had as much fun playing hockey as I have had this season. And I think that's something that, speaks volumes, especially being elite athletes and playing in a professional league. And the first thing that comes to mind for me about our team is fun. Like nothing, we don't take ourselves too seriously. Like we work hard and we want to be dominant, and everyone's hungry to come to practice and get better every day. But we don't ever let ourselves like not have fun. And I think that's been really important. Because it's easy to let little things get to you, and the schedule to get stressful. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, if you're not having fun while you're playing, it affects everything. And I think that's something it's evident to players, it's evident to coaching staff, it's evident to the fans. So I think when people come and watch us play, and we do dominate, part of it's just because we love being with each other, and we've all been there at practice pushing each other to get better, and celebrate all the small victories.
That's
um,
beautiful.
yeah, and then the other thing is just, I think, wanting it for each other. um, we don't have any egos on our team. Nobody walks around like they're better than anyone else, and I think that also is a huge thing, because we're all here, we're all competing, we all want the best for each other. So when you have that, genuine desire to do whatever you need to do for the person next to you, good things happen. And when that desire is genuine, you can tell. It's pretty obvious. So I think those are like two key ingredients for our team this year for sure.
That's very sweet and awesome, and makes me want to come to your guys' practice. I just
Oh
want to
yeah, we
like
have we
come
have a
hang
grand old
out.
time from the staff to the players. And like it's not just the players; it's also our coaches and our general manager and our equipment staff and our team president and our owners. Everyone has played a huge part in our success this year and making us feel like a cohesive unit, and having all our needs taken care of and things like that. So it's been a really special journey to be a part of, without a doubt.
And it definitely has been, I mean, paying off not only in wins, like obviously you've won so many games, but it's also paying out in terms of fans. You guys sold out for the third time in a row this past weekend. Boston Pride fans are turning up. They're turning up for a team that deserves to have a sellout crowd. You guys 100% deserve a sellout crowd weeks in advance. Can you just talk to me about the Boston Pride fans? Like, what is that like? How is it different going from Harvard to Boston? Because we all know Boston fans have a reputation. Okay, we all
Totally.
know about the reputation. So, what are your fans like? What's it like playing in front of a sold out crowd?
Nothing beats it, honestly. I mean, I think as an athlete, that's, every athlete's dream is to play games in front of a sold out crowd, just because, we feed off of their energy. Obviously, we love to play and we love to compete, but when you have, a large group of people who are there to watch you, and, you can feel their energy in the crowd. And, that's the other half of the fun is, being able to showcase our talent for them, and give them something worth watching. The other cool part is we've been doing autograph sessions after every home game for fans who like want to come and meet us. And that's been really cool because we've seen a lot of familiar faces consistently throughout the season. Kids will bring us posters, they'll ask us to take pictures with them, give us like Valentine's Day goodie bags, Christmas presents. Like it's just really sweet. So being able to not only have them there support us, but also take the time to interact with them and, show our appreciation for them. It's a mutual two-way street. And,
Mm-hmm.
we can't do what we do without them, and it's good to have their support without a doubt. So
And
so
I
much
love
fun.
that you're talking about the future generation, because this gets exactly into my next question.
Awesome. Yeah.
You were talking about growing up in high school, how you were thinking about playing college, and it would be a short stint, right? You play your 4 years in college, and then you have to figure out what you were going to do for the rest of your life.
Totally.
Now you don't have to do that anymore. Now we have a professional women's ice hockey league in the NWHL. And what it's about dreams, right? It's when I was a kid, I wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher.
Totally.
Professional athlete wasn't on my radar because I'm a lady.
Yeah,
And you couldn't, that just wasn't a sustainable thing. But now we have kids growing up who see people like you out there performing in front of sold out crowds with a Harvard degree behind you. I'm sure you could have gotten into Harvard with your own brains, but like also Harvard hockey.
Hopefully.
Amazing. So you have this wonderful credentials. You are playing in the best team in the division, and people are seeing who you are, and they're saying, I can do that. I could play professional ice hockey when I grow up. I would love to see the enrollment in ice hockey for like 6 and 7-year-olds in Boston this next year, because I'm sure it's exponentially higher because these girls are saying, I can do this. You are someone's role model. So here's my question, other than making you have a big head so you'll sign my jersey when I see you at the Isabel Cup. But who were your role models growing up?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. So I got into hockey late. So to be honest, I'll throw you for a curveball here. I was a big soccer fan.
Ooh, weird.
Yeah, I started playing soccer when I was like 4. So Mia Hamm was definitely one of my role models, just because, they showcase a lot of soccer games with the National Women's Soccer League and things like that. But I'd say as I grew into hockey and became more aware of it and started watching more games, for sure, I'd say Angela Ruggiero is up there, Jenny Potter, a lot of those old timers from the 98 crew. Definitely had to do some research for sure.
Old timers, savage.
No.
So savage.
Yeah, no, but they still have it. That's the thing. And you see all the work that they're doing. I mean, a lot of their careers ended, a decade or so ago, and they're still putting in the work, whether it's coaching or coming back to support current national team players or people in our league and growing the game. So yeah, for sure them.
Right.
But yeah, and I would say right now, like all my current teammates, everyone's putting in the work, and a lot of people work a job on the side, and that's really cool. And I've been able to do some coaching, which has been super rewarding. So I coach a junior girls team, which is high school age level, and just the excitement that they share. Like anytime I have a game, they're like, "Bree, good luck in your game. Like, are you gonna score a goal? Like, are you gonna do this?" Or I've had to miss a handful of their games, which is a bummer, but
you had a good excuse.
Yeah, totally. To see the support that they show me, and a handful of them have come to games this season. And then I've been able to give some lessons to some younger kids as well. So yeah, so to be that role model, and also just to spread the message that you don't have to just be a hockey player. Like, well, yes, it's awesome to have that as a career. What you do like off the ice, and also like with your teammates, I think speaks much higher to who you are as a person, and what you want for people.
Yeah.
So being an active member of the community, being somebody who stands up for others, and always throws out a hand if people need help. Kind of using your platform to do good in the world. And if people are going to pay more attention to us, I want to make sure they're paying attention to us because of the good that we're doing, and highlighting all those things.
I definitely think people are paying attention to you, and I think they're paying attention to you for the right reasons. Totally. Both you and Christina came in with nothing but admiration and love for what the Pride have been doing, and what you all have been doing from your platform is really admirable, and we all just want to thank you for what you've been doing, because it is awesome to watch you guys play. It's probably not awesome if you're someone else's fan, but as an impartial bystander, it's awesome to watch.
I'm so glad.
All right, so we're going to turn it over to Twitter and Twitch for some questions.
Awesome.
If you have any questions for Briana, please submit them right now. We're going to take a short 60-second break. During that time, I need everyone get hydrated. I'm going to need you to submit your questions. The chat will still be running. For those of you who have Amazon Prime, you do not need to have a 60-second ad break because right now you can keep watching if you link your Twitch Prime to your Amazon Prime accounts. You'll hear more about that at the end of the show, but we will be back in 60 seconds. All right, Briana, so here is the first question from chat, okay? All right, how fun is it? How fun is it? This is from Murphy. How fun is it as a defender to play on a team that encourages its D to go and join the rush and go attack?
Super fun. I'll be honest though, I would say my style of play is way more stay at home. So for me, it's fun because I get to see somebody like Fratty or Mal, Lexi. All of our D are very offensive, so I've definitely been paying more attention to them to find ways where I can be more active. I'm a little more reserved. I feel like I don't tend to join.
You're having like a panic attack.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't belong up here.
Oh God, help me.
So I'm like, I shouldn't be here. But no, it's super fun. I think our coach really loves to have the D jump up into the play, and
that's great.
A lot of our D have been contributing, so it's always fun.
Everyone on your team has been contributing.
For sure.
That is it for our 60-second ad break. Welcome back, everyone. So our next question comes from Renee Minestrone. I think that's Italian.
Okay.
Briana, what's the hardest jump you can do referring to figure skating?
Oh, gosh.
Is it just like a slight jump over the blue line?
Yeah, probably at this point, only maybe like a double axel. Probably not even. I haven't even tried. It's been too long.
I'm sorry, just a double axel is what you just said.
I probably wouldn't be able to land it though. I haven't worn figure skates ever since I stopped figure skating. So.
Okay, this question comes from the Gamer Doc on Twitch. What is a toe pick for?
A toe pick. Toe pick is usually rapid stop, I'd say.
Okay.
Or also being able to kind of like lean forward without falling over. So actually when I first switched to hockey skates, I fell straight on my face because I didn't have a toe pick. I wasn't used to it.
Toe pick.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for clearing that question up for our fans at home. Android 17, Los Angeles. Briana, do you have a bit of doubt or are you concerned as to whether the Pride can get the job done and hoist the cup for the second time in franchise history? Heated question.
Heated question. I don't have any doubts, honestly. I think, we've had a couple games this season so far where, our team's been put in a tough spot. We had a game against Buffalo. We were down 2-0 very early on in the first period. That was a situation we had never found ourselves in. Came back. One of those things you just look around and you're like, we have to trust our game. We know what we're doing, not to let your emotions get the best of you. And then also, that taking that loss in Minnesota, I think really kind of put a bitter taste in everyone's mouth.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? I mean, that's part of the game. That's part of sports. You win some, you lose some, but obviously we're coming into a point in the season where we're looking to win the rest of the games that we have. So yeah, no, I have the utmost faith in our team. We show up to work and, taking home the cup is something we've literally been talking about since before day one. So I know everyone's hungry and I know everybody wants it. So we just got to continue to play our game.
I can't wait. I can't wait for playoffs. I'm so excited for playoffs. Okay, the next question comes from Twitter, Ash Muzan. What would your advice be to someone who recently started playing ice hockey as a defender?
Awesome. I would say focus on your backward skating. Forward skating is important too, but if you're looking to play defense, you have to be a good backward skater. So getting comfortable on your edges and with your balance, for sure.
So 8 years of figure skating is going to help.
Yeah, it definitely helped, for sure.
All right, last question comes from Brown Bear on Ice, and she wants to know, did playing soccer help your footwork in ice hockey?
I would say just playing other sports in general helped me be a better hockey player. They're all connected in some way, shape, or form. I would say particularly soccer and lacrosse, just in terms of spatial awareness and overall like agility and things like that. So I can't stress enough, especially for youth kids. I think getting them involved in multiple sports is really important. I might be a little biased because that's how I grew up, but it's refreshing to go from season to season playing something different, and B, it just helps you develop a better mindset, and you get to play with different people, meet different teammates, but also kind of like spark that creativeness, because all the games are a little bit different.
And I very rarely on this show do I get to flex the fact that I am an actual doctor, but there is children who play more sports who don't become sickle sport athletes have a lower rate of injury. So
Totally.
going into other
working
sports,
different muscles and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you for teeing me up for that softball
Yeah, of
question.
course. Yeah.
All right. Home run. Hat trick.
Yes,
pack
amazing.
trick. So that's all the time we have
Awesome.
in the show. Thank you. Honestly, thank you so much. You are just a ball of happiness and positivity and admiration. And I think everyone here is just so amped to watch you play, knowing the things we know about you now, watching you play and watching you compete for that cup is going to be so much more fun. So thank you so much for stopping by. Do you have any parting words for us?
No, thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I just want to, give a quick shout out to everyone who's been supporting us and just the league in general so far this season. We couldn't do it without you guys. So to everyone who's been following along and showing your support, we're so appreciative, and keep the ball rolling, keep spreading the message to everybody, and just our sincerest thanks for sure.
All right, Briana, thank you so much, and have good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right, have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. You too.
So that was Briana Mastel. Every time we do this show and I know a little bit about people beforehand, I just love them so much more after. Am I like the only one who feels like that? She's great. All right, so we have a second guest for you tonight, Erica Ayala. But before that, we're going to do the clip of the week. So as we mentioned before, the game this weekend went into a shootout. Not a big deal. So the clip of the week this week comes a combination of Murph Hockey and by T-Laz 2. So here is the clip of the week, and it's multiple clips, so just hang out.
Taylor Accursey to try to keep the game going in the top of round 3. If Walter saves it, it's over. Walter for the win. No! Oh, what a beauty! Taylor Accursey.
Nice little move and a slide right through that 5-hole. Gosh, she has some skills.
Orzechowski will now move in round 4, trying to give the Buttes the lead. She scores, and Buffalo is now a save away. Pressure in this one. The Riveters need a clutch tying goal now, or Buffalo will come away with the victory. Morse in with speed. Rebecca Morse too high, and it's over. Tiffany Shu has her first NWHL win, and an.
So, did you guys all see that? Because that was awesome. Taylor Accursey goes 5-hole off of that amazingness. And then Anna Orzechowski, our OG, comes in and just drives it home for everyone, which was absolutely incredible. We've got our first win for that goalie. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I'm also, just a big fan of shootout wins. It just adds an extra layer of fun to the end. It's just what I like. So we have our next guest about to come on. So please welcome Erica Ayala. Hello, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Glad to be on.
Yes. So if I were to list out your credentials, I just wanted to save some time, and because we would literally be here till the next morning. We would miss this weekend's games. your
be bad.
credentials would go on for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. But you are an NWHL analyst and founder of the Founding Four podcasts. So what I want to know is your NWHL origin story. How did you get to be sitting here talking to me right now?
Wow, that's a great question. And first, I have to say that also co-founder in the chat, Mike Murphy, also known as Just Murphy. So give a shout out to Mike. But actually, I became a hockey fan through my sister, my little sister, Jessica. She got really into hockey for both the men's and the women's side, watching the 2014 Olympics. And I'm a huge baseball fan. My sister comes to me. She's like, Erica, I'm getting into hockey. I want to do the hockey things. I was like, I got you, sis. I got you. We're going to do this right. We're going to get the jerseys. We're going to follow the players. We're going to be like big fans, all the things. And I took her to the first game, home game at Aviator. So shout out to all the OG Riveters fans. The Pride were late. It was like a big thing.
Wait, the Pride were late?
Yeah, their
Oh
bus. I don't know.
God.
There was like traffic or something. So, it was just, but everyone in the arena was great. We were having a good time. The players were like juggling, and Elena Orlando, I think, talked about on the show before that she, is dancing for the crowd. But that was just a great experience. And it was my first real hockey experience. But what sealed the deal is, and I'm wearing my, orange and blue headband here, but the Mets were in the playoffs, which almost never happens, certainly in my lifetime. And so we'd be in the line, my sister and I, waiting for the Riveters to come out and sign things and stuff. And I go to the line, and the Mets had just clinched. They won the pennant going to the World Series. And I'm going down the line with the players, and I'm like, all right, well, next home game, Mets might be World Series champs. I'm just saying. And one of the last players that I said that to was Megan Fartelman. Now, she's from Kansas City. Her dad grew up a Mets fan, but she's in Kansas City. She's like, yeah, I'm from Kansas City. I was like, oh, that's awkward, because they were playing the Royals in the World Series. But I was like, I got to come back to this game when the Mets win the World Series and like rub it in her face. And of course that didn't happen, but I stayed a fan.
Wow. Okay, so all right, so that's awesome. Mainly because I saw Megan Fartelman this weekend.
Whoa.
And I got to watch her play hockey, and
Amazing.
It was amazing. Like, it was amazing. So, yeah, we're going to need watching her be able to play hockey, and then you talking smack to her is amazing. At least you know where Kansas City is. All right. So, you and I first interacted on Twitter for the very first time, and I just want to really quickly pull up your Twitter bio because I love it. Okay, so this is Erica's Twitter bio, and no big deal, she follows me, if you can tell. But so one of the things about your Twitter bio that really stands out for me is, you're putting your key demographics, you're putting your pronouns in your bio. There aren't a lot of female, Black, Latina analysts out there. And it doesn't matter. NWHL, NHL, any other sport, it doesn't matter. There are not a lot of those kind of demographics out there. And so last week, me and Lando had a discussion about making hockey more inclusive and about how hockey is for everyone isn't just some hashtag you put on a photo. It's about a real commitment. So in your opinion, in your expertise, how do we make sure that hockey is for everyone? And your Twitter bio is multiplied. Multiple people have that Twitter bio.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for the love. I was like, I don't even know what I'm putting up there, but we'll go with it. But I'm actually glad that you mentioned the part where I put pronouns. One, because that's something that even being in the hockey space and having Harrison Brown come through the NWHL, learning a little bit more about Jessica Platt, who also on my bio is my birthday, and she and I have the same birthday. So that's great. But being able to be a good ally, I think, is one of the things. So that's why I put that in my bio. But then you got to remix things every once in a while. And I do find my heritage and my culture to be very important to me. Yes, I am a Black Latina. And as you said, there are not a lot of people that identify in that way in this space. And so the one thing is, I think what Open Ice has been able to do is start a conversation. So I really appreciate that. And, it's one of those things where I think as a person of color that's in the space and has been able to learn hockey through women's hockey, I don't always necessarily think to talk about who I am and where I'm from, but I always appreciate when people ask me about who I am and where I'm from and things like that. And the hockey community has been so open and welcoming. So I would just encourage people to do a little bit more of that. Get to know people, not just on the surface. If you like what they have in their Twitter bio or whatever the case is, show them some love, and maybe that starts a conversation. So that's definitely something that I would say has really been great for me in this space.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been really great having you in this space. Personally, I've enjoyed your interviews.
Thank you.
I'm sure everyone else has been enjoying your interviews. If you haven't checked out the podcast, check it out. Just Murph, right? Just Murph is what we're
just Murph. Yeah, that's
Just Murph.
Or I call him Stats Man every once in a while.
Stats Man. Okay, I'm gonna need everyone in chat to just exclusively refer to him as Stats Man. If we can just. We can do that. I don't know if you saw last week, but last week we started a competition for Elena Orlando.
I did.
As for living her life as an organic whale. I went to Colorado. I went to a hockey tournament, so I didn't see if she chose a winner. Did she choose a winner yet?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Lando, what's going on?
We're gonna need to peer pressure her. Yeah. We're gonna need a signed photo on Twitter before the next game is what we're gonna need.
That was so much fun. I have this really nice photo of Lando between season 1 and 2. She gave me like this fierce blue steel. I'm not much of an editor, but I'm gonna have to pop that up there. It should be a contender for sure.
Oh,
late entry.
Late entry. We'll allow it. But like you said, Lando and I last week had a good conversation. You and I are having a good we're trying to do something with this platform, just like everyone was talking about, just like the Pride is doing something positive with our platform. So what are some things that we can actively do to make sure that hockey is for everyone? Like me, listeners at home, people without a platform, what are some things that we can actively do?
Well, I think Lando and I talked about this before she came on the show. One thing is just that education piece, right? Sparking up the conversation, like I was just saying, but also there are amazing resources. I think actually I have to give some credit to the NHL. They've been doing a much better job. I'd like to specifically shout out Kim Davis because I think she's done a great job with her platform to make hockey more inclusive. So tonight, ESPN, for example, is airing the documentary Willie, which is about Willie O'Ree. He broke the color barrier in ice hockey. He's kind of known as the Jackie Robinson of the NHL. So that's a resource, looking up information on Willie O'Ree. Have to give a shout out to Black Girl Hockey Club. I believe it was NBC just had a nice feature on the Black Girl Hockey Club trip out to Pittsburgh, which I was able to be a part of that. So stick taps, huge kudos to Renee Hess and Black Girl Hockey Club. And two other people that I want to make sure that I give a shout out, that would be Soul on Ice. That's Kwame Mason. He's the director of the documentary Soul on Ice, which walks through the history of Black players in ice hockey. And I actually emailed him a few years ago, Blake Bolden. I mean, there's a long, we don't have enough time for me to go into my Blake Bolden stories. I have multiple stories, but when that documentary came out a few years ago, loved it, but I immediately noticed that there were women missing in the conversation. And so Kwame since has done things with Blake, and I understand that he has something in the works similar to Soul on Ice, but focusing on women. He had, of course, Angela James made a small cameo in Soul on Ice, but also Bill Douglas does a Color of Hockey entry. It's now on NHL.com. And it used to be an independent blog. Bill Douglas and his whole entire family, Corrine and Helene, and all of them are just amazing, have really embraced me. And so I would implore you to just follow all of those people if you want to learn more about that. I think also Professor Courtney Situ does an amazing job And she's out in Canada, as well as Shireen Ahmed, because you don't want to forget the Canadians, right? That's a whole, like, you know, we talk about diversity in hockey. I didn't forget that part of last episode.
Oh boy. Okay, you know a lot about this stuff, and that is why, you know, whenever someone has an analyst in your name, you just have to, you know, they're gonna know their stuff about every single aspect. So I love
AKA
that.
talk a lot.
I didn't say that.
It's fine. I embrace it. I'm good with it.
Okay. You are amazing. Thank you for this wonderful conversation. Thank you for continuing to advocate for what you're, you know, for everything that you've been doing and continuing to be a part of this discussion, and just separately being an awesome contribution to the NWHL. Do you have any parting words for us? Do you have any do you have a tagline you want to say?
Tagline.
If not, you can come up with one now.
Hashtag Team More Melanin. I want to see more people of color being involved in women's hockey, especially. I'm always pushing the envelope, even with Black Girl Hockey Club, to get more involved with people of color that are in women's ice hockey. So shout out to all the Team More Melanin members that are in the chat, that are on the ice doing it up. I see you. I appreciate you. But also, GamerDoc, I got to thank you for doing a great show and having me on.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I have the least melanin, but I will always be on Team More Melanin. But despite my pale skin. But okay, thank you for being on this show. I'm gonna pull up your Twitter one more time, just so everyone can see you, and make sure to give you a follow to get more excellent information from you. We're gonna be looking forward to your interviews. We're going to be looking forward to seeing you very active in the hockey community. Thank you for stopping by. And I look forward to interacting with you more.
Oh, it was a good time. I'll be watching next week.
All right. Good. Thank you. What a show we have had. Two amazing, fantastic guests, both in their own wonderful arenas. Both of what they do is I couldn't fathom doing either of those things. You gotta know your stuff if you're an analyst, guys, because if people ask you a question and you don't know, you lose all your credibility. So Erica knows so much about hockey, which is amazing. So that's almost it for our show. Upcoming games this Saturday. Everyone around? The action starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Whale and the Pride face off. Followed shortly by the first of a doubleheader for this weekend. The Whitecaps and the Buttes start at 2:30 p.m. And then Sunday they'll face off again at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then also Sunday we have the Pride face off against the Riveters. So that's it for our show tonight. We'll see you next Monday. Thank you as always for your wonderful participation. If you haven't joined the best fan competition, what are you doing? It's free, and you can win free tickets to the Isabel Cup. It's free. Just do it. Just all you gotta do is sign up for a Twitch account, and as we mentioned earlier, get that Twitch Prime account. It's a free way to support the league. We would love to see your support. Stay tuned after the show for a message from me from the past on Twitch Prime. And thank you all so much for stopping by. Thank you, chat, for your wonderful participation. I'll talk to the higher ups about Stats Murph as a guest. We're gonna need stats, just Murph stats. Have a happy and healthy week, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the show. By tuning in every week and engaging, you're directly supporting the league. Do you want another easy and free way to show your love? Amazon Prime customers have access to one free Twitch subscription a month. First things first, if you haven't already made a Twitch account, click the sign up button, which should be in the top right corner of your screen if you're on a computer. What a great show. Oh, you're finished? Okay. Once you have a Twitch account, head over to twitchprime.com and follow the instructions to link your Amazon account to your Twitch account. Sounds complicated, but it's not. Once you've done that, click the subscribe button right here. And make sure you scroll down to subscribe for free. Done! Now you've accessed exclusive Twitch emotes and some other fun stuff. Pro tip, the subscription doesn't auto-renew, so make sure you do it every month. That's it. Thanks for watching. Go Sports!